I said the other day on one of my live feeds, everyone, if you're going to use an esky, put a frozen water bottle in there first. Chill your esky down, okay? Get it down cold before you go throwing beers in. You don't want to put it into a hot esky, okay? You've got to give the ice every chance, especially if you're going over to Fraser Island or somewhere like that for a long weekend. You want to give your ice every sort of chance you can get. I think the best way to do it, everyone, is some block ice on the bottom, your drinks in, and then some party ice over the top. Blackers, I think it was Blackers, went over to Fraser, not in the heat, during the cooler months, and he got 8 days out of his block ice using the Kings. The trouble with the block ice, it takes up more room, but it lasts longer. So both eskies have just been emptied out. They're still cool inside. I'm going to put 30 cold cans of each. 61 a carton. Come on, they were on special too. 61. What a disgrace. Cartons of beer should be no more than 50 bucks. I've had me rant. Let's get them in there. Right, Kings first. This is a true Aussie test, everyone. Let's bloody... Let's get it in there. 30 cans of Han. Right, I'll close that up for now. Let's get 30 cans into the Yeti. As I said, the beers are pretty cold, everyone. 30 in there. I'm going to go and grab the party ice, everyone. I've got 5 bags of party ice. I'll probably maybe get a couple in there and 3 in here. Let's get as much ice in as we can. Let's scrape it up a bit. Get the cans fairly flat. Right, I'm going to have to work quick here, everyone. One there. Righto. 2 in there. Righto. That's a big chunk there, it's a bit unfair. Smash it up a bit more. Another one. Two, and we'll use this last one, That in there. Let's go back to the Kings. I can still fit a little bit more in the Kings. Try and even the score up a bit. Right. Righto, everyone. So we've got a carton of cold beers in there, 30 pack. 2 and a bit over 2.5, and 2.5 in the King. So probably slight bit more ice in the Yeti than the Kings, but not by much. Now what I'm going to do, I'm not going to empty the water out of these ones. When you're out there, you don't. I empty the water out of my ice, out of my eskies when I'm out. Especially if you've got food in there, you don't want to go and soggy. But if you've just got beers in there, that's fine. You can keep the cold water in there. So I'm going to do that. No food in there. I'm going to just open it up over the next 2 or 3 days, however long it takes, and we'll see which one's still got ice in it before the other one, and until the beers are just going off where they're not cold enough to drink, okay? So you still want them nice and icy cold. How many days? 2, 3? I don't know. We'll see how we go. I'm going to leave them on the floor over here in the same place. So there you go, 30 cold beers and about 2.5 bags of ice in each one. They're both pretty well up to the up to the brim. I could have fitted a little bit more in, fitted. And anyway, we'll see how we go. This will be a good one. This is the tester, isn't it? This is how we normally use these. If you go into a barbecue or something like that, throw your beers and some ice in, throw them in the back of your ute. If you're going to someone's barbecue, you can have your meat on the top, pull the meat out when you get there, and then you've got your drinks left. So, you know, I'm going to probably say this on another clip, but if you're just going out for a weekend, everyone, don't think you've got to go out and spend money on a fridge and a dual battery system and all that. The old esky can still get you by if you're just going out camping for a weekend. You've just seen here, and I'm sweating. Have a look at the sweat coming out of me. 5 days, block ice, lasted in both these eskies, all right? Yeah, you got to bash it up a bit more. It wouldn't have lasted 5 days. Would have got 4 days out of it probably, and throw your drinks in there. So, long weekend camping, there's still a place for an esky. A lot of people are saying, oh, no one uses eskies anymore. There's still a place for them. Put your comment down. Let me know what you reckon. Is there still a place in the camping world for a bloody esky? I reckon there is. Righto, here we are on Sunday afternoon, which is 24 hours after I put the beers and the party ice in. So let's see what the damage is. Not as hot today, thank goodness. We've had a storm and some rain. It's raining at the moment, just lightly. So we had a thunderstorm come up about lunchtime and it's cooled it down. It's 31 degrees. So it's still been warm, but not as hot as when I had the block ice in here. So let's see what the damage is, eh? 30 beers in each esky and a couple of bags of party ice. Okay, let's check the Yeti out first. I'll only have a quick look in. Oh, wow. Yeah. Still plenty of ice in the Kings, in the Yeti. Still plenty there, everyone. Close him up. Righto. Now for the Kings. Pretty well the same. That's doing better. Both eskies doing better than I thought. Mind you, it hasn't been quite as hot. So still plenty of party ice in there. I thought I might get a couple of days. It's been 24 hours now. And I reckon we've still got a couple of days left there. So yeah, no problems there. Party ice, still plenty of party ice in there. Beers will be icy cold down the bottom. So see you at 3 o'clock again tomorrow on Monday afternoon. Anyway, I'll sit back and with Rafa and we'll sit out here in the shed and enjoy listening to the thunder and watch the rain come down. See you tomorrow. G'day everyone, back again. Well, 48 hours for the second experiment. It's 3 o'clock on the dot. I just finished mowing the backyard. And I must say, the last couple of days has been a lot cooler. Few storms around, big rain coming in on Wednesday. It's Monday now. So anyway, the wet season's not far away. Something had to give. That heat wave couldn't keep going. It was ridiculous how hot it was up here. Still warm, but it's bearable. It's got out and mowed the lawn and that, and I would have died a few days ago if I tried to do that. But anyway, so here I am thinking these eskies would only be good for about 2 days. But because it's cooled down a bit, it's still over 30. There's still ice in there. I haven't checked, but I can feel it rattling around. So let's have a quick check after 48 hours, eh? 8 hours. Yeti, how you going? Yeah, a lot more water in there today. Let's see if I can get it in a bit closer. Still ice in there, but still a fair bit of water. Okay, so that's got another day in it at least, maybe a couple. Righto, close him up. Kings, how are you going inside? Well, once again, fair bit of water, but still a bit of ice there. Okay, still a fair bit of ice on top and water. So it's neck and neck at the moment. Close him up. Yeti, you're first up. Okay. There's still a blob of ice, about that much in the Yeti, and bits floating around. We've got another day left in that easy. Righto, so let's come over to the Kings. We'll do this up first. Righto, without breaking the camera there. We're turning it off. Let's check the Kings out. there you go, everyone. I reckon it's close, isn't it? It's going to be close. I reckon that maybe the Yeti just ahead. Beers are still icy cold. Right, let's go another 24 hours and we'll see how it goes, eh? But they both got ice left in there. Hey, I'm about to head down to Tully, guys. It's 9 o'clock the next morning and I came out to grab something out of the shed. I'm going down to Tully to pick up a new bit of cooking equipment. And I thought, just have a real quick sneaky look. And I looked in and I thought, nah, I've got to call it now because there's going to be no ice left at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So it's the next morning, it's 3.5 days. 3.5 days. Give you a quick look in the esky. There's a winner, but only by a bees, you know what. Okay, there is a winner. Let's have a look. So the Yeti, everyone, has got literally that much ice left in it. And about 2 pieces there. So basically, look at it, it's just about gone. Beers are still icy cold, obviously, but literally that much ice left in the Yeti. And the Kings, beers are still icy cold, but no sign of ice. No sign of ice, but that water's still freezing cold and the beers are icy cold. So there we go, everyone. There was a winner in this one. Wasn't really a winner, but there's about 2 little things of ice. Remembering the Yeti had the advantage in this one because it had about 2 3/4 bags of ice in it, and I think the Kings had about 2 1/4. So I put a little bit more ice in the Yeti because it's a bigger esky. So it did have a little bit. So the first time the probably Kings had the advantage and it won that experiment. This one, the Yeti won. Only just, and it probably, as I said, not apples with apples, everyone. The beers are still icy after 3.5 days. Those beers are still very drinkable and probably will be at 3 o'clock this afternoon. That water will stay cold enough till 3. So it'll keep beers, let's call it 4 days, it'll keep your beers cold with just a couple of bags of party ice in there. Both very impressive, considering how hot it is up here at the moment. That's an impressive experiment. Both eskies did very well. Now, let's get on to the winner. Well, I'm going to leave that up to you, everyone. I'm going to call it a dead heat. I thought the Kings did better on the block ice, clearly, but it didn't have as much air in it to start with as the Yeti. So, as I said, I've said this a million times, probably an unfair advantage to the Kings on the first one, and a slight unfair advantage to the Yeti on the second one because it had a slight bit more party ice in there. I put a bit more party ice in the Yeti because it's a bigger esky. And it only just won, didn't it? It won by about two things of party ice like that. So I'm going to call it a dead heat. I'm going to call it a dead heat so we don't get all the Yeti fanboys throwing shit at their computer out there, everyone. Both eskies did very well, or ice boxes, whatever you want to call them. Put it in the comments. What do you call them? Where you come from? Tell me where you're from and what you call them. I've just been brought up calling them an esky. I know their proper name's probably an ice box. In New Zealand, it's a chili bin, which kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Anyway, thanks for watching. Share this around. If you're a Yeti owner, tell me what you think. This was hot weather. I did this over the course of a week or even more than a week. It was hot. It was hot up here. They both did very, very well. Where am I going with this? $550 Yeti, 70 something dollar Kings, Adventure Kings. Well, can Yeti justify $550 for their esky? I don't think they can, guys. Yeti, if you're watching, I think you're price gouging. And if I was a betting man, I might eat my words here. I would say that these Yeti eskies are probably made in China. I should have Googled that. I will. I'll put it up. I'll go, where is the Yeti made? And I don't know. Where are they made? I'm tipping China. I'm tipping another company that has put their name on something and it still gets made in China. Adventure Kings put their name on their stuff. We know that. They plaster it all over there. But they proudly say, we know everything's out of China with Adventure Kings. And I'll tell you what, this esky, and I said it in my first clip when I did a review on it, they're worth the money, everyone. They are worth the money. They're not cheap and nasty. They're a bloody good esky for what you get. $550 for a Yeti, $70 for a Kings. Put it in the comments. Is it still viable buying a Yeti esky when you can go out and get one for 70? All you guys out there, poor man pays twice. Not all the time, I've just proved it here. You'll be a poor man if you go buying Yeti stuff and it performs no better than what a Kings esky does. Put it in the comments. I know I'm going to upset someone's feelings. I'm going to throw this up on the Adventure Kings Facebook site so everyone can see. Everyone gets on there and knocks Kings. Well, I'm not going to knock this one. It's bloody just as good as the big boy on the block. So there you go. Yeti, if you're watching, you charge too much for your eskies. $550 for that, and it performs no better than what a $70 esky does. You're price gouging. Pack of arseholes. That's my thoughts on that. Let me know what you reckon. Be good to each other, and we'll catch you again soon, eh? Let me know if there's another experiment I can do. Let me know down in the comments without me having to go out and buy $550 eskies and items like that. It's great doing these comparos, isn't it? Sometimes the comparos, the cheap one gets blown out of the water. Not in this case. Good on you, Kings. Well done. Well done. You're up in your game with a lot of your stuff, and this esky, I'll tell you what, it's up there with the big name on the block. Catch you later, everyone. Thanks for watching.